bought your second-hand cart, you've got all your safety gear. The last thing you've got to go do is practice. Welcome back to the Power Public YouTube channel. Today's video, we're going to be teaching you the easiest way to get started in go-kart racing. So let's get into the video. The first thing I'd like to recommend you guys do if you want to get into go-kart racing is Google search the local go-kart club. So the club closest to you. Now, it's really important if you don't know anything about go-kart or go-kart racing is to go to your local club. And the reason we say that is there's no point buying a Rotax go-kart if everyone's racing four-stroke and vice versa. You're not going to buy a four-stroke kart and turn up to a race meeting or go practice and learn go-karting, and no one knows anything about four-stroke racing because there's going to be no one there to help you. There's going to be no one there to race, and if you get lost, you get stuck, no one's going to have spares. So try to buy a go-kart brand and kart engine package that suits the club that you're going to be racing at. Go and talk to some of the guys in the paddock and see what classes are popular for your age and for your weight. Now you might be going, Des, what the heck? I'm not going to know anyone at the go-kart track. Well, that is true. So basically, we're going to Google search the local club. We're going to go to the track and we're going to introduce ourselves. Maybe you could make a phone call to the club first and say, hey, I'm brand new. Is there someone that can show me around if I come out? And generally, there will be an official or someone from the club that will show the new guys around. Okay, so step number 2 after you've contacted the club is to join the club and a local karting association because there's a good chance you're going to need a go-karting license to do go-kart racing. So join your local club and join the local karting association that issues the licenses so that you can go racing. That's step number 2. So now that you've Google searched which is your local club and you've gone and seen them and you know which class you're going to join and you have a license, it's time to start doing some shopping. Generally speaking, if you are new to go-karting, you're going to start with a second-hand kart package. The reason being is the karts depreciate substantially from brand new, so it's not in most people's budget just to buy a brand new racing machine to hack it all to pieces while they're learning how to do some kart driving. There's an odd crash because you're starting at the back of the field normally. There's a little bit of errors from drivers sometimes where they might leave the track and drive over the curbs and stuff like this, so it can damage the frame to some degree. So it's probably most likely guys that are brand new to go-karts are going to start in a second-hand kart package. The best thing to do is buy a second-hand frame, in my opinion, with a brand new engine if you can afford it. Otherwise, just get a second-hand package and get yourself out on the track as soon as you can so you can start learning how to become an awesome go-kart racing driver. Now, while you're in the purchasing zone, you need to get the kart that suits your weight, age, and the class that you're about to join. So there's no point buying a rookie go-kart if you're a senior and vice versa. You need to get the go-kart that's going to suit you. Now, when you've gone out to see the guys at the track and you've found out the class for your age and your weight, you'll roughly know what kart to buy or what kart to look for in the Facebook marketplace for the second-hand go-karts that are going to suit you for your go-kart club and your go-kart club racing. Otherwise, you might even be able to buy one off a guy at the club that you meet on the day, which is sometimes helpful because they can help you with the kart if anything goes wrong. Because if you buy it just from some random dude on the interweb, well, he's not going to be there to help you. Go-kart shops are good like that if you buy one off a go-kart shop in your local area because they're going to know the kart, the engine, and yourself. So if you do have a problem, there's someone to lean on that might be able to help point you in the right direction on how to repair the go-kart when it all goes wrong. Now, the karts do vary greatly in price and quality. That's something you're just going to have a bit of a feel around for. But generally, a good second-hand go-kart is going to go for approximately half the cost of the brand new package. So currently here in 2022, the brand new senior go-kart package is about $13K with all the bells and whistles. So if you picked up an excellent second-hand version, expect to pay around $6,500 to $7,000. And then it's a sliding scale down for the quality and the age of the kart. As the kart gets older and more used, it's worth not as much on the second-hand karting market. So you would expect to pay a sliding scale down towards $3,500, $4K for a pretty average second-hand kart. So now that you've Googled your local club and gone and introduced yourself to a few people, you've got yourself a license and you've joined the club, you've bought yourself a go-kart for the class, it's time to buy yourself some safety gear. Now, we do have some videos on safety gear already, so we're not going to go too crazy on that here today, but you're going to need a helmet, boots, suit, gloves, and it's a good idea to buy a rib protector as well, and a neck brace too if you can afford it. These little safety things are going to help you when you have your inevitable new guy crashes and boo-boos on the track. This is pretty common. there's a lot of things going on in go-kart racing, and when you go for your first race, there's go-karts everywhere, everyone's emotions are high, and some poor decisions can be made in the moment. So we've all been there, we've all had the crashes, you've just got to go through it, and you need safety gear. So buy the best safety gear you can, new or secondhand, if it's in good condition. The only thing I wouldn't recommend buying secondhand is probably a helmet. It's super critical, guys. Look, if you do come off the track and your head hits the ground or another go-kart, I've seen it happen. You want to make sure you've got the best piece of equipment protecting your head so you don't have any serious head injuries while you go-kart racing. It is dangerous. All right, guys, so now that you've done the car inspection on Google, or the club inspection, you've joined the club and the racing association, you've bought your second-hand car, you've got all your safety gear, the last thing you've got to go do is practice. So take all your stuff out to the track. Hopefully there's someone there to step you through your first day. Otherwise, you can just check out all our videos. We've got heaps of videos on YouTube on how to use your go-kart at the track as well. You can check those out, and when you get to the track, go out there and have some fun. K's is king. If you haven't practiced, you're probably not going to be very good at go-kart racing, but don't let that deter you. You've just got to go through the motions. We say here about 1,000 laps, so 10 practice days, 100 laps each, and you're pretty much ready for racing. Can take you as long as 3 months or longer to get that 1,000 laps, but don't let that deter you either. It's just a milestone that we say as a general rule of thumb to give you enough control of the go-kart, so if there is an emergency, you might have a better opportunity of missing it because you're in full control of the machine. Other than that, race whenever you feel you are ready. The guys at the club will probably let you know when you're ready because they can do an observed driving test. That's something we do here in Queensland as well. So with all that, go out there and have a bunch of fun. The last thing I'll touch on too is you can get a kart with a data logger. These are great for seeing your lap times, but it's not an essential. So if your kart doesn't come with a data logger, don't worry about it. You can always buy it later. You can buy them secondhand. It's a nice feature, but it's not essential. What is essential is going to the track and getting those reps. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for tuning in. Smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.